everybody, I'm Natalia Bonner. I'm back with another one of these bonus videos. So those of you that are new here, let me just take a second and introduce you. I'm Natalia Bonner. Over the last year, every single day for 365 days, I have been creating and sharing these fun machine quilting videos, sharing them here on YouTube. We have all the links, more information on our blog, but with these blogs, what I've been doing is teaching you step by step how to machine quilt 365 different designs on squares, circles, and triangles using all 5 of my machine quilting rulers. So what am I doing today? Why am I sharing bonus blogs? Isn't 365 enough? Well, when I completed all 365 of these designs, I had a few extra squares and triangles and circles on my final panel, which is this one. So with those final shapes or those extra shapes, I thought, why not dress these up a little bit and I can show you guys some fun ideas or hopefully just inspire you on your own machine quilting journey. So today I'm going to be sharing a few squares. All of these squares that I'm going to be sharing with you today are quilted on 6-inch blocks. So I've stitched all of mine out on these pre-printed panels. They're custom panels that are available through Honest Fabric, and they just work so great. You don't have to do any piecing. However, if you are stitching along with me, or if you want to begin stitching along with me, you don't have to use these panels. You can stitch these designs out on anything. I have some that are stitching along that are stitching these on solid fabrics, and some that have even just pieced squares, 6-inch squares, and are stitching out all the designs just on 6-inch squares. So you can really do anything. There's no rules when it comes to what you need to quilt these designs on. You know, modify them and stitch them out on 4-inch or even the triangles on a flying geese unit. These are here as foundations for you to gain really great control of your machine and machine quilting with rulers, and then I just want you to explode from there. The sky's the limit. So before we do get to the actual video, I do want to let you know that we have a brand new book that's now available for pre-order. So this brand new book is a companion to this stitch along. It's Let's Stitch 365 quilt block designs with machine quilting rulers. So in that book, we have all 365 designs that are in this stitch along. They're all full color and to scale. So each one is an illustration. Every block has its illustration in the book. And then next to that illustration is a QR code. Now, if you've never used a QR code, they are so cool. All you have to do is grab your smartphone, scan that little code. It'll pop up a little link that you can click on that link, and then the video that coordinates with that block will pop up. Super cool. This is going to be an awesome resource. It will start shipping in May 2020, so make sure to pre-order yours today. But in the meantime, let's get stitching. This first design that I'm going to be stitching out is a fun variation of block number 76, the peak block. So you can see here that I started out by marking that top center point. Now I do walk you step by step through the foundations of quilting out this block on that tutorial. We do have links below to each of these block original tutorials. So you can see here that I am switching back and forth between my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler and my mini. You can use either one of those. Sometimes I'm just crazy and work with both. So for this variation of this design, I decided to quilt, I like to call it a fern feather, right in that center triangle. So to stitch this out, I do stitch out my spine first. I prefer to have a spine as a reference point, so that's why I stitch it out first. And then I stitch back down the bottom once I stitch up to the top. Now this isn't how I stitch out every feather, but this is how I stitch out this one. So you can see that I traveled all the way up to the top on one side, back down my spine, and then I'm going to travel back up on the opposite side, just stitching those fun pointed fern feathers. From there, I'll travel back down to that bottom point. Now, I could leave that block like that, but you guys know me and you know that I love heavy quilting. So now I'm going to go back through, again using my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, and I'm going to stitch some fun back and forth straight lines. So you can refer to these as matchstick quilting or just straight lines. When I'm stitching these out, I'm just using my ruler as a reference guide to help me keep my lines nice and straight. I'm not necessarily measuring anything or doing any marking. They're just a really nice guide. Once I travel all the way to the top of this block, then I'll stitch back down the opposite side. This next block that I am stitching out is a fun variation of block number 244 from my stitch along, the floor block. So here, obviously I'm going to be stitching it out on the square. The original sample I'm also stitching out on a square, but in the original version, I stitched it out adding a little bit of an echo to the outside of it. Whereas here, instead of adding that echo to the outside, I'm going to play around with pebbles. Pebbles are a really fun background filler to quilt out. They definitely can be really time consuming and tedious, but sometimes the definition they give is just my favorite. I love them. Actually, I love a lot of different motifs. All those little fillers really do make me happy. So I'll let you just watch this one for a few minutes, then I'll be back with another fun design. This next design, I'm using my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, and stitching out is a fun variation of block number 15, the point-to-point curve. So this design is really simple. It's a great design on many blocks, but with this version, you can see that I'm going to add some fun details to the outside portion of the block. One thing that I do definitely want to point out here, obviously I'm using a contrasting thread color so that you can see it on video so that it will stand out. Generally, if I was working on a block like this, I would be using a matching thread color. So what type of thread am I using? On this particular block, I am using So Fine thread on the top. The color I'm using is number 402. Then on my bobbin, I'm using Bottom Line. And the color that I'm using on this quilt is Bottom Line number 624. This last design that I'm going to be showing you today is a fun version of the same block, block number 15, the point-to-point curve. So I'm just showing you that even though it's such a basic design and really simple point-to-point ruler work, it's actually a block that I would highly recommend starting out when it comes to ruler work. By stitching in the ditch around the outside, you really can practice stitching in the ditch, and then using the curved side of a ruler on 4 different sides of a block really kind of teaches you a lot about moving your rulers around. This is a great block where you may want to consider using the inside out ruler to get that top curve a little bit more comfortably. So play around with those rulers and see what you like best. To dress up the center of this block just a little bit more, I'm going to quilt some figure 8s. So an easy way to practice these is just grab a piece of paper and a pencil. Check out our quilter sketchbook, but check this out, sketch out these designs and practice doodling. Hop on your machine and stitch it out. You'll see when I finish stitching this design, I'll actually travel right along my previous stitch line. So I'll grab my ruler, stitch along that line, back out to that outside corner. Then from there, I could continue on to the next design. I hope you all found just a little bit of inspiration from these videos today, and hopefully they brought a little bit of joy into your day. Have a great day, everybody.